Hallo meine Damen und Herren, willkommen zu unserem Whisky-Botschafter Talk. Wir sitzen jetzt hier im Lagerhaus der Distillery und freuen uns natürlich, der Distillery natürlich im Trompeterschlössle in unserem neuen Whisky-Talk-Raum, wo man auch verschiedene Events machen kann. Und ich freue mich ganz besonders zur Rechten aus Schottland. Sandy McIntyre ist hier von Tamdhu Distillery. Wir haben uns ja schon in Schottland getroffen vor einiger Zeit und in Schottland haben wir über ein Fass ausgesucht, ein ganz spezielles Fass, und er wird uns gleich ein bisschen darüber erzählen, was wir mit diesem Fass gemacht haben. Sandy, welcome here in Trompeterschlössle in Switzerland.
Thank you. It's a great delight to spend some time with you.
You come extra to Lake Constance and visit us in a small place between Germany, Austria and Switzerland here in the hotel. And what's a big tour here. And now we look a little bit to Scotland. You work now 8 years in the distillery there.
Yes, that's correct. I have been at Tamdhu now for just over 8 years, and it's been a fantastic distillery to work in. We've got great spirit there. We've got a great team of people there as well. So it's
How many people you work in the distillery now by Tamdhu?
When I joined Tamdhu in 2014, there was 11 staff, but now we're actually up to 20 people. So that's down to the growth of the warehousing we've got there. It's brought on extra members of staff.
How was your way in the whiskey business when you started, or where you started?
Interestingly, my family has been in the hospitality trade, a bit like yourself, for lots and lots of years. My grandparents had hotels, my father had bars and pubs in Glasgow. I joined this industry in 2006. It wasn't where I started my career. I started in chemistry, in analytical chemistry with Environment Agency in Scotland. And I joined Diageo in 2006 and got my experience in the industry through time, around 7 years with Diageo.
Oh yeah. How was your way in the whiskey business and working with All the Life, for example? And what is the classic working day for a distillery manager?
There is no classic working day.
Breakfast, of course. Full Scottish breakfast.
Well, usually breakfast is a small whiskey.
Okay,
that starts the day well.
Good.
However, there is no typical day. The industry is a fantastic industry to work in. I worked at the maltings originally with Diageo, and then joined Glenlossie and Manachmore distilleries in Speyside, and then a small distillery again in Speyside called Glenspey before joining Tamdhu. Mm-hmm. The day involves looking at what's going on in production, checking the quality of the spirit from the stills, and then again checking what we're filling into casks, as well as obviously the delightful part, which is sampling casks.
Okay.
And doing some tastings.
How is, for example, last year was Gordon Danders here, your colleague, is the brand ambassador for Glengoyne. And how is working together with Glengoyne?
Ian McLeod Distillers is a relatively small company in comparison to a lot of the other distilling companies there is. So it means that we all have to work quite closely together. Gordon is our brand ambassador, and Gordon and I do lots of tastings together, lots of videos, lots of releases, and I also work very, very closely with our marketing director, a gentleman called Ian Weir.
Ian McLeod is a family-owned company, I think so?
Yes.
And how many distilleries is there?
You're correct, Christian. Ian McLeod, family-owned, Scottish family-owned, which is a wee bit unusual still in the industry now. We own Glengoyne Distillery in the Highland region of Scotland, and then we own Tamdhu. We also produce the brand called Smokehead, which is a very heavily peated Islay whisky, a single malt. At the moment, we are working on the redevelopment of Rosebank Distillery, a very well-known lowland distillery down in Falkirk, which is due to start production in the next few weeks, actually. And then currently, we're also building a new distillery in Islay, as well as a distillery in India.
Oh, okay.
So lots of development going on.
You work a lot in many distilleries now. I think it was 4 distilleries or 3 distilleries. And how is the difference for the distillery to the distillery? Where is it?
As you are aware, each distillery produces its own spirit character. And it's those variations in the spirit character and the way that you operate the production process, the shape of stills as well, the time for fermentation, and all those introduce the variations that produces the variety of flavours that you get from Scotch whisky.
Okay, and what is special the quality for Tamdhu? What is special for Tamdhu?
Tamdhu is a very, very fruity new make spirit. So when it comes from the stills, a clear liquid, but it is intensely fruity. It bursts out at you. It says, "Come and smell me, smell me." We then introduce that into sherry casks. So Tamdhu is only sherry matured whisky. From the day it goes into the cask to the day we remove it from the cask, only Oloroso sherry casks.
Okay.
It's also a natural colour whisky, which we're very, very proud of, and we'll see from some samples that we have, the delightful range of colours and flavours, and that is what makes Tamdhu in itself an exceptionally good quality whisky.
What is your special goals with Tamdhu for the next years?
It's a great delight that Tamdhu was built in 1897, and the first delivery of casks we had at Tamdhu were sherry butts. And it is our intention as a company and as me as the manager of Tamdhu to stick with sherry maturation. All Oloroso sherry. It works very, very well with the spirit, and we will continue doing that. We want to introduce people and educate people that sherry whiskies aren't solely the sherry bomb that you get, that sometimes you can have some American oak sherry casks, sherry seasoned casks, and actually use that and again get this range of flavours.
In the Speyside to live is the same situation like here. It's beautiful area. Why should the people come to the Speyside and visit the Tamdhu Distillery?
Well, I would completely agree with you. It's very much larger mountains here than we have in Scotland.
And we have also raining today. It's the same like Scotland.
I feel like I'm at home already, but we have the lake here, beautiful countryside. It's absolutely fantastic. But yes, visit Scotland, come to Scotland. We have this fantastic range of distilleries in Speyside producing excellent quality whisky. Not just Tamdhu is excellent quality, we want you to explore whisky in itself. Tamdhu is right on the banks of the River Spey. We have an old Victorian railway station there. We have some fantastic scenery.
No trains arriving?
No trains anymore, I'm afraid. Yeah, you'll have a long time. But sit and have a dram.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in a rush.
Okay. What can we accept for Tamdhu this year? New bottlings?
Yes, in 2022 we launched our Tamdhu 18-year-old, which to me becomes emotional when I talk about it. But 2023 we are going to continue with a next release of Tamdhu Distinction, which is around the Quercus alba, the American oak style of whisky. We have another new release for the Whisky Festival, which hopefully we have some guests across from Germany for at the start of, or the end of April, start of May. Always a busy time. And then it will be some single casks. We are eagerly anticipating and waiting for Tamdhu 21. And we're actually working on something very, very exclusive, which is Tamdhu 60-year-old whisky, 60.
Oh.
Not much of it, but again, an excellent quality whisky at high age.
Yeah, last year celebrate 125 years of Tamdhu, and it was a celebration also 25 years our magazine, the Whisky-Botschafter, and we have a special bottling we selected. You have a tasting here?
We had a great time when you visited Tamdhu last year. We explored our warehouses and we sampled from a number of different casks, if you remember.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic because there was a very small hogshead, quite a small cask, sitting in warehouse 2 level 1. And I don't know why it was there. I don't know why it had been left.
I remember we have 6 other whiskies we selected. War eine harte Arbeit. Wir mussten nämlich wirklich Fässer sortieren. Ich war 6 Stunden im Lagerhaus, und wer hat es noch die Möglichkeit, in einem Lagerhaus 6 verschiedene Fässer da aufzumachen? Ich habe nichts gefunden, und dann lag dieses Fass an der Ecke. We found one at the door on the left side.
That's right, yeah.
And you told me it was from Russia, or was the Whisky Club Russia? Moscow?
No, that was another cask in warehouse 1. This cask that we were at, it was a lonely hogshead. It had been there from 2006.
Yeah.
And Usually it's unusual for us. In fact, it's the only time that we have bottled a hogshead as a single cask. A European oak, and I don't know whether you can pick that up, the colour that we've got here, absolutely fantastic, rich colour. It was cask 2061, and we sampled it, and I actually remember the delight, the joy in your face sampling this Scotch.
Es war die erste Liebeserklärung für dieses Fass dann, also insofern war das wirklich sehr schön gewesen. Und now I think we taste.
You said immediately at the time of tasting it, wow, were your words. And you said, this is what I want. What we've got is this richness from the European oak cask. We've got the delightful strong fruitiness from those casks. Fantastic colour.
Super Farbe.
This one's at cask strength.
Ja, original Fassstärke.
We did a little bit of work with it. I did some work with one of our blending team, and for your bottling we reduced it ever so slightly down to 59.1 or 58.1 I think it was. But this lovely rich aroma, very, very rich. Chocolate, dark chocolate. Oranges.
Sie wissen ja, wenn wir auf eine Fassstärke, das ist eine Single Cask Abfüllung, direkt von so einem Fass hier. Und dann kommt das Original in Alkoholstärke rein. Was 60?
It was 62.3 if I remember correctly, originally.
Ja, also fast über 60% Alkoholvolumen. Und wir haben das dann für unsere Abfüllung, wird es dann ein bisschen reduziert. Und Sie sehen, der Whisky war also original in so einem Fass gelagert. Das ist jetzt das Falsch, das sind jetzt hier Bourbon Cask, das Sherry Cask. How many liter was in this cask?
I think there was somewhere around 160 litres, which equated roughly to around 180, 185 bottles. So quite exclusive.
Ja.
Not a lot of bottles of this available.
Ja, also dieses Fass 2006 gab es über 160 Flaschen, 170 Flaschen, also 160 Liter Alkohol, die übrig geblieben ist. Das Gute ist, wenn wir dann sehen, was ist denn draus geworden? Wir haben dann das schön abgefüllt. Tamdhu hat natürlich eine schöne, das Auge guckt ja mit, eine Geschenkabfüllung. So, denn ist dann so schön verpackt. Und wenn man dann so raussieht, so sieht das Ganze aus, ist dann für das Magazin Whisky-Botschafter und ja, Whisky Time, Whisky-Botschafter wurde das dann abgefüllt. So sieht es dann im Original aus. Alkoholgehalt haben wir jetzt genau mit...
Was are 183, 182 bottles, I think?
Ja, 380 Flaschen. Und Alkoholgehalt liegt jetzt bei 57,9, 52,9 Alkoholvolumen.
I think the packaging of Tamdhu, the bottle of Tamdhu in itself, lends itself very well to the colour of our whisky, all natural colour as well, which I take great delight in the range of colours we get from Tamdhu.
Also wir haben jetzt wie gesagt bei diesem Whisky, it's a beautiful whisky with the aftertaste, the Sherry Cask. For Jahren, for many years, it was the first experience was Macallan style. It's allow me to say.
No, it is.
Macallan was for 20 years was this typical Sherry Cask.
Tamdhu Distillery used to be owned by Edrington, the company that owned Macallan. The casks that we use are identical to the casks that Macallan use or used in the past. So it works very, very well. And that's why it is, it's a typical Speyside sherry matured whisky.
Ja, das ist also zusammenfassend. Es gibt ja nicht mehr viele Whiskys. Glendronach hat noch einen schönen Whisky, 100% Sherry. Macallan hat auch Sherry Cask finished. Tamdhu ist 100% Sherry, also es ist wirklich wunderbare Whisky. Wir sind natürlich auch mit den Preissituationen, wir liegen jetzt bei 249 Euro. Entschuldigung, 225 Euro ist es im Angebot und es ist für unsere Leser von Whisky-Botschafter oder Whisky Time kann man das dann auch beziehen und ich kann Ihnen sagen, wir haben jetzt noch etwa um die 60 Flaschen von den, die da übrig bleiben, also es war nicht so viel noch von, auch der Interwhisky auch erfolgreich verkauft und das Schöne ist, heute Abend, wir haben ja mit Tamdhu ein Whisky Talk and Dinner und er hat noch, today we have another whiskies, there was a 12, I see.
We have Tamdhu Distinction, which is the American casks that we use. We have a Tamdhu 12-year-old, we have a Tamdhu 15, We have a Tamdhu 18, which is, and then I have also brought along a special special sample as well.
Old Smuggler.
You have not tasted it yet, you have not even seen it yet.
Also kam im Flugzeug, er hat im Koffer was dabei gehabt. Das werden wir natürlich heute auch noch probieren. Überraschung, wir haben heute 52 Gäste heute Abend. Wir haben Piper, wir haben ein schönes Menü. Ich kann Ihnen noch mal sagen, wir haben the menu tonight. We have smoked salmon von Loch Fyne, you know, Loch Fyne Oyster Bar.
Very, very good quality.
Decorated with a salad from here. Then we had no haggis. We have a fish soup from the west coast, and we have Scottish lamb, schottisches Lamm with a whiskey pepper sauce, and we have a nice Scottish dessert. Also das ist so das Menü heute. Und wenn Sie mal vielleicht auch zu uns kommen wollen, auf der Homepage www.trompeterschlössle.com oder unter Whisky-Botschafter Magazin, whiskybotschafter.com oder Whisky Time Magazin finden Sie die ganzen Termine. Und wir haben noch ein paar schöne Termine. Ich kann jetzt schon darauf hinweisen, ein Highlight wird sein am 6. Mai. Wenn Prinz Charles intronisiert wird, dann haben wir die Royal Whiskys hier bei uns mit einem schönen Menü. Im Schottenrock kommen dann alle Gäste und wir feiern dann die Intronisierung von Prinz Charles, unter anderem nur mit königlichen Whiskys. Whiskys, die da einen Bezug haben zum Königshaus, die das Royal Waren haben oder auch die in der Nähe von Schloss Balmoral wohnen. Also insofern, I hope we have a nice evening.
We will. The whiskies, the selection of whiskies you have in the bar here, fantastic. From all around the world. Not just Scotch, we've got all around the world.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
A great selection. Sláinte, cheers, Sláinte, enjoy.